screen. You can pause on your independent work right now. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pass you out a paper. Please write your name and date. When you're done, give me a thumbs up. You get one, Carly?
Yeah.
There you go. All right, Aiden has his name. I'm going to look for a date on his paper. I see Skylar has her name. This should be a lowercase a. Name and date, Zion. Awesome job. You can mark an addition. You can put it right at the top of your paper. Okay, then fixed it. Mark an addition. Awesome job. Good job fixing it. I love that capital L. Mark an addition at the top of your paper. Awesome job. Mark an addition at the top of your paper. Skylar who? Yes, Skylar Sims. Great. Here's what we're going to do. Today, awesome job, mark an addition. Today, we are going to be interpreting the unknown in a multiplication equation. When I say unknown, what does unknown mean? Ooh, I saw Jacoby's hand first, but I know Jacoby is not the only one that knows what unknown means. What does unknown mean? When I say unknown, what does that mean, Kaden?
Unknown means like if I have an equation and I'm trying to make an unknown, I just get a number and I just put like a letter or I put a question mark.
Okay, pause right there. He said he puts a letter or a question mark. He's thinking about a variable. So tell me, Jacoby. Jacoby wants to be a, what does unknown mean?
Unknown means like it's an equation and it only says the total and one of the parts and we're gonna try to figure out the other part.
Pause there. He said figure out. Unknown means the part that I'm trying to figure out. Unknown means the part that I'm trying to figure out. What does unknown mean, Carly? The part that I'm trying to figure out. Awesome job. Jacoby, Kaden, marking addition at the top of your paper. Great. Who can read the first equation to me? Loud and proud. I haven't heard your voice, Zion. Go.
S equals 12 times 9.
What did he say, Skylar? Read it again for me one more time.
S equals 12 times 9.
S equals 12 times 9. Now, here's what I know. When I look at those numbers are kind of big. So I need to figure out an efficient way to solve this. If you knew how to solve this, what would you do? I've heard from Jacoby. Skylar, I haven't heard from you. How would you solve S equals 12 times 9? What would you do?
Draw a fact family.
Okay, so she said she would draw a fact family. Anybody have something they want to build? What would you do, Carly?
I would use her multiplication.
She said use her multiplication chart. So I heard two things. I heard draw a fact family. I heard use my multiplication chart. Tell me one more thing you might do. I see you doing something. I would love for you to raise your hand. What would you do?
I would do.
What were you just doing just now?
You gotta know what multiplication is.
He said he would use his multiplication chart. Anything different, Kaden? I heard draw a fact family. I heard use my multiplication chart. Send Sean. Thank you for sending Sean. Don't steal his chance to grow his brain. Okay, let me ask you a different question. If I gave you an equation that looks like this, how would you solve this? What would you do? What strategy would you use?
I would count by fours.
Pause. He said count by fours 3 times. So that strategy is called what?
Skip counting.
Skip counting. I would do what?
Skip counting.
So I heard one thing. I would use a fact family. I could use my multiplication chart, M chart, or I could skip count. Okay? So then we're going to make sure that we know how to use our multiplication chart. And we're going to practice our skip counting chance. Okay? 12 times 9. Let's look at our multiplication chart. When I look at my multiplication chart, I want to find the first factor. Who can tell me what the first factor is in this equation? What factor do you see, Jacoby?
Factor like.
Give me 1 second, Jacoby. I want to hear your question. I'm sorry. I want to make sure that my class is working independently. Let me look around and see who got their pencil to their paper. Josiah, I see your pencil to your paper. Oh, Chris, I see your pencil to your paper. Let me see what girls I see. Tori got her pencil to her paper. I see Emery got, ooh, lots of friends making really smart choices. Kenzie, I see you working. Quill, did you go check in with Miss Joe? I know she wanted to help you. Go check in with her. She wants to help you. Smart choice. Okay, let me tell you what I said, and I want to hear your question. My question was, what is the first factor you see in this equation? Jacoby, you were asking me a question. Go. Are you listening to this question?
Do a number always gotta be a factor? No, like, do it gotta be like, can it be like a variable or something like that?
Oh, that's a good question. He asked me, does a factor always have to be a number, or can it be a variable? Well, I want to answer, but I want to hear what you might think. What do you think? Can a factor be a number? Or, I mean, can it be a variable?
A factor could be a variable.
Do we agree or disagree with Kaden? Can a factor be a variable? Okay, I agree with Kaden. You can have a factor that is a variable. That is called an unknown factor multiplication equation. And we will write some of those in just a second when we look at some of our other equations, okay? Now, here's what I want you to tell me. What is the first factor you see in this equation, Zion? S is the factor. Do we agree or disagree with that? Okay, so let me pause here. Let's start with a fact family. On my paper, I want you to start with your fact family. Oh, I see some disagree. Okay, so Kaden already started to draw his fact family. Go ahead and start filling it in. Jacoby has a fact family. Start filling it in. Thank you. Carly has started her fact family. Zion is drawing his fact family. Okay, I see a fact family. Where the rest of your numbers at?
I'm trying to figure out, how do you put...
Hold on.
How do you know if S is the total and this is
Good question. She's asking, how do we know if S is the total or if S is one of the factors? That's your same question? Okay, let's look at it. So when I have a fact family, we know that what goes at the top of a fact family?
the total.
The total. What goes at the top of a fact family?
Total.
The total. So when I look at this equation, let's read it together. Ready? We're reading it together. Go.
S equals 12 times 9.
S equals 12 times 9. In a multiplication equation, I multiply my two factors together. So what would you put 12 at on your fact family, Carly? Would you put it at the top for your total or at the bottom for one of your factors? The bottom. I agree. I'm going to put 12 at the bottom because 12 is one of my factors, okay? My other factor is 9, so it's also going to go at the bottom. Did you fill in your fact family? Okay, no problem. I will wait. Thank you for asking, Michelle.
So we're going to wait for our dance party. So give her some minutes and we're going to fix our worksheet.
Thank you. It's sharp. Go have a seat. Great. 12 times 9. So Skylar, back to your question. She asks, what goes at the top of our fact family? What would go at the top of your fact family, Katie?
Our total.
The total. So what's the total in this equation? What total do you see? Or what is representing your total?
The S.
The S. S. So go ahead and put S at the top of your family.
S is the unknown.
S represents the unknown. Remember that unknown is the part that I'm trying to figure out or the part that I don't know. So who can raise their hand and tell me what part don't you know in this fact family or in this equation? What part don't you know? Let me see who I haven't heard from. Ooh, I saw lots of engagement. Skylar, what part don't we know in this fact family?
S.
S, and S represents what?
Total.
So I don't know my total. I ain't see no agrees or no disagrees. Do we agree or disagree with that? We don't know the total. So let's look at our multiplication chart to see how we're going to solve this. I will look for the first factor. The first factor in this equation is 12. What's the first factor?
12.
Find 12 on your fact family. Zion pointing to it. Oh, I'm sorry, I did say fact family. Find 12 on your multiplication chart. Jacoby found it on his chart. Let me see if Carly found it. You're looking for 12. Okay, find 12 as a factor. 12 as a factor. So you pointed here first. 12 as a factor would be on this bar, in this row, or in this column. Awesome, she found 12. Did you find 12? Did you find 12? Awesome, you found 12. Now, we know that 12 is one of our factors. How many times would I count by 12? How many times would you count by 12, Zion?
9.
He said 9. Agree or disagree? Why would I count by 12 9 times, Carly?
Because you could get to your total.
So I can get to my total. What is 9 in this equation, Kaden?
9 is a variable.
Not a variable. Remember, variable is a letter or a symbol for the unknown. Can I give you a hint? 9 is our other.
Factor.
9 is our other what?
We're only gonna count 9 times.
There you go. We're gonna count 9 times.
12 9 times because if
Not from 12 9 times, but by 12 9 times.
if we don't count and we mess up, if we count 9 times, we can just make sure that
Oh, ooh. He about to tell me something. I want you to tell me that in just a second. Let's count by 12 9 times first. Okay? Go ahead and point to 12.
12.
We're gonna count 9 times. So we're gonna count like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, ready? Go. 1, 2,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
9.
Then
When you counted by 12 9 times, what did you get, Jacoby? What did you get? He said 108. Do we agree or disagree? Did anybody get anything different? Now, Caden was about to tell me earlier something that he could do to double check. What I can do to double check to make sure that I counted by 12 9 times is I can slide my finger over on my multiplication chart to see that I counted 9 times. So show me where you counted by 12 9 times. Go ahead, show me.
12 and 4.
So I wanted it to sound like what we did together. 1. Okay. Now, what Caden told me to do. What did you tell me to do, Caden? To double check?
Slide your finger to the darker number.
Slide my finger across the row so I can find the other factor. So let's do this together. Where did you stop at when you counted by 12 9 times? Point to it. Okay, now we're gonna slide our finger across to see if that's 9. Ready? Go.
1, 2, 3.
Did you get to the other factor 9?
No.
Okay, so let's double check that one more time. So we're gonna come here. I'm gonna count by 12 9 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now I'm going to slide my finger over. Ready? Go. 9. The last time you stopped at 8, so 12 times 8 would have given you what?
96.
96. We want to make sure we do 12 times 9, which gave us what? 108. So when I want to double check to make sure that I counted the correct amount of times, I can slide my finger over to find the correct factor to make sure that I counted by the number, the amount of times that I needed to. Okay? So 12 times 9 equals what? What does S equal? If you know, write it on your paper, give me a thumbs up. I see Skylar got a thumbs up. S equals what? I should see it on your paper. S equals what? S equals what? S equals, can you write it in this space so that you can save that space for your other problem? S equals what? We're going to say it together. We're going to say S equals. All right, ready? Go. S
equals 108.
Ooh, everybody kiss your brain. Ooh. All right, let's do the next one. What we just did was we used a fact family to figure out what part were we missing or what was the unknown. Okay? So you're going to do this together. Actually, you'll do it independently, and then we'll talk about it to see what you know. I'm going to give you, I think 1 minute is enough time. Do you think 1 minute is enough time? I'm going to give you 1 minute to show me your fact family with number 2. Let's read number 2 together really quickly. Go.
63 divided by 9 equals
I'm
L.
going to read it by myself. Listen, 63 divided by 9 equals L. Fact family, show me. You have 1 minute. Don't go nowhere. The problem is 63 divided by 9 equals 12. You're working on number 3. That's okay. Just fix it. Okay, I see you started with your fact family. Can you fill in the rest?
On your 2 feet, please.
L.
Okay, fact family look good. Let's see. Fact family look good. Okay, I want to talk about some of your work. Okay, I'm going to show you work first. We're going to look at it. We're going to discuss it. Okay? Come closer to Escator so that you can hear. Let's look at his fact family. We're going to start at the top first. What do you see at the top of his fact family? L. Do we agree or disagree? Oh, I see some of us disagree. Kaden, pick somebody to tell us why they disagree that L goes at the top. Jacoby, why do you disagree with L going at the top?
I disagree with L because L is not higher than 63.
Okay, it's not higher than 63. Bill, Skylar. I don't want to hear math vocabulary.
I know L is not the total because right here it says that 63 divided by 9 equals L, and it doesn't say L divided by 9 equals 63.
I love that thinking. Now remember, Kaden, earlier when we were all on the carpet, we talked about what division is. We talked about what division is. Division means I'm splitting my total up equally. Division means I'm splitting my total up equally. So all division problems will always start with you splitting up the total. Do we know the total here in this problem?
Yes.
Do you know the total here in this problem?
No.
Kaden is saying no. So let's look. The problem says 63 divided by 9. Remember, division is me splitting up my total.
63.
So I will always know my total with a division problem. What's your total here? 63. So everybody should have 63 at the top of their fact family. If you have 63 at the top of your fact family, give me a thumbs up. Go ahead and fix it. Awesome. Kiss your brain. Great. So your two factors, what are your two factors here? Carly, remember, factors are the two numbers that I multiplied together. What would you multiply together in this equation?
9 and L.
Thank you. She said 9 and L are her factors. Do we agree or disagree? I saw Kaden agreed. I saw lots of agrees over here. 9 and L are the factors. Great. How would you solve this? I wonder if somebody can tell me how you might either use your fact family, your multiplication chart, or skip count to solve it. How would you solve it? Talk to me, Skylar.
I'll go to the nines.
Okay.
And I'll come all the way to 63 and then.
Okay, pause right there. She said she would go to the nines and count until she gets to 63. If you agree or you disagree, show me. Okay, I'm gonna give you 10 seconds to use your multiplication chart to solve it. Go. She's going tired. Okay. So what's your unknown here? What is the unknown here? Okay, in the equation, the original equation, what represents L? So I want you to write L equals. You don't have to erase it, just keep writing. L equals. Good job, Carly. Show me how you figured that out. How did you get 7?
I count not by 9. I'll count by 9.
Do it, show me.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
How did you know to count 7 times? Did the problem tell you 7?
No.
No. So what did you did count by 9s?
I count by 9 until I got to my total.
Because the problem told you what your total is. Show me how you did that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh, how would you double check that you counted 7 times, or that the number was 7, that the factor was 7?
Because I look right here and I see my total.
Okay. So how do you know it's 7? Where do you get 7 from? Because you did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How can I double check that the other factor is 7? Think about what we did earlier to double check.
If you are not there, please get there.
When I want to double check that I counted correctly. Remember earlier when you counted by 12 9 times and you stopped right here. How did you double check to make sure that you counted by 12 9 times?
I double checked by counting. I counted again.
Okay, she said she counted again. Can anybody tell me how you might double check? Carly, pick somebody. Tell us how they might double check. Skylar, how would you double check?
I double check.
Can I show you what Carly did? So she started in her 9, and she said she counted until she got to her total, which was 63. She said she did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. She said she wanted to double check that she counted 7 times. So how would you double check this?
I'll go across to see if it's actually 7.
What did she say?
And if it says 7, it's correct. But if it says any other number, 6 or 8, it's incorrect.
Did you hear what she said, Carly?
No.
Okay, thank you for being honest. So she gonna say it one more time. You're gonna pay attention this time, okay? Sky, one more time.
I'll go across to see if it's right. If it's 7. Here's any other number is incorrect.
She said she would go across to make sure that it's 7. Because you said you counted 7 times, and if she sees 7, then she knows that it's correct, okay? Tell me what she said.
She said if she go to our total and she will right here and she sees 7 to the square.
Okay, so she says if she slides her finger across and she sees the number that she counted, the number of times that she counted, Skylar, please scoot up to the table, stop spinning. Thank you. Then she'll know that she counted correctly, okay? Here's what's about to happen. You're about to do some independent work. Number 3 and number 4. I want to see a fact family. I want to see you solve for the unknown. And I'm looking to see, are you using your multiplication chart or skip counting to solve and double check your work? Got it? All right, go. Where's your prep now? Bring it to me quickly. Harlem, I see you working. Kashan, turn to your table, please. Thank you so much. Jaquel, you almost finished? Love it. I can't wait to see it. Mackenzie, you finished with your packet?
All right. Okay. At this moment, you're going to have about 5 minutes to do your exit ticket. If you haven't done your exit ticket already, please do so now. Put your
finishing
name
up?
and date on your paper. I am collecting it.
Ooh. Over here.
Janelle is going to set a 5-minute timer. When I timer is up, I will be collecting papers. So make sure
Okay, and I love that you took our feedback from earlier. What's your total? Do you know your total in this equation? Okay, what's your total here?
level is on.
How do you know that 72 is your total?
Because when it's in a division equation, the total will always be known.
Absolutely. Let me say what I love that you just did. You used our instructional chart to help you remember that division means that I'm splitting up the total. Awesome job. Marking addition. Keep going.
Unknown number makes the equation true. Grace, please stop though. Grace.
Okay, I want to see how you're going to solve this. Those numbers are kind of big. Let me see what you're going to do.
So my boys are on level 0. Let me make sure I can hear. Let me listen. Alora. Come to my grade. Come to my grade.
Okay, Carly, let's look here. The question mark equals what? Did you solve for it yet? Oh, okay. Okay, I see. So question mark equals what? Tell me.
It equals 72.
The question mark is 72?
No.
Remember that the question mark is the part that's unknown.
It equals 9.
9, absolutely. Question mark equals 9. Good job. Keep going. You finished or you still working? You finished this? Oh, I love that you went back to your independent work while you waited for me to check your work. Let's see. You have silent lunch. Every time I look at you, you're talking. You have everything you need. That's a pencil, your paper. Please get to work. All right, let's look. Okay, you got 132 for your products here. Show me how you got that.
Because when I counted,
You counted what? I see you working. You finishing up? All right, I'm about to come to you next.
When I counted, all the way down until I stopped at, I went all the way down. Then my answer got 132 because 12 times 11, because 12 is the biggest number.
I see you counted by 12. How many times did you count by 12? Like, how did you know to stop here?
I stopped. I speak at like 12 and I stopped at 11.
Oh, you stopped at 11. When Jacoby comes back, I'll send it. Show me. How can you double check that you stopped at 11?
12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Oh, you counted by 12. We want to count by 12. How many times?
11.
11 times. Try one more time.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
11. 11. Double check that it's 11. How would you double check? Remember what we told Carly earlier? How did Carly double check? Let's see if Carly remembers. Carly, I'm asking Zion to double check that he counted 11 times. How would you double check that he counted that you counted 11 times? If his finger is here, how he double check? Ooh, slide across, right? Show me that. All the way. Make sure you touch the 11. Was that 11? 11 times? Yes? No? Maybe so? Yes. Awesome job. Kiss your brain. You can go back to your seat. Let's see what you got over here. I gave you a new pencil. Here. There's a line. Carly's going there. Kobe, I need to see your work finish. Are you finishing up? Come on, stay focused. Yeah. Is that a big deal or a little deal? What are you trying to figure out here? Okay. Do you know your two factors here? Okay, so you know your two factors, so you're not trying to find your factors, you're trying to find your what? The total. So go ahead and put a variable for your total. Great. Even if you don't see something, that doesn't mean that you stop working. That means you problem solve, you figure out what you can do, and you keep going. Got it? Go. I cannot wait to see the exit tickets that you all have completed. If it's not completed, Jaleel, do you have the timer going? How much time do we have left, Jaleel? You. Tell me how you got 132 here.
Excuse me.
I'm teaching right now. You have to go have a seat. You have to go have a seat.
Because I was at 12 and then I counted all around until I got to 11.
Show me.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
How you know it's 11? Bless you.
Because I went right here. But just to make sure, I went right here and I counted all the way until I got to 12.
Ooh, show me.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I got the same answer. And I went right here to see if I did 12 and I did. So I got the answer 132.
Perfect. Get your brain. What you just did was show me two ways to solve this problem, okay? You knew that you could count by 12 or 11. How do you know that? I wonder if you can use math vocabulary to tell me. How do you know you could count by 12 or 11? Yes, you were using hers earlier, so we just picked a different one, okay? How did you know we can count by 12 or 11?
Because it said because it was in the problem and
Let me pause you right there. Let me see if your classmates know. Skylar said she counted by 12 and she counted by 11. Can we do that? How? How can we do that?
You can do that because they're both our factors.
Okay. What's the math vocabulary word that tells me that I can skip count by either factor? Do you know, Skylar? What is it?
Opposite numbers.
Not opposite operations. What do you think? Here's the word. The word is commutative property. What is the word?
Commutative property.
Okay. What does commutative property tell me, Jacoby?
Commutative property tell me that if it's
Christopher, have a seat. Here's what commutative property tells me. Commutative property tells me that I can flip my factors around and still get the same product. If I wanted to solve this, can I count by 3?
Yeah.
Skylar, could I count by 3?
Yeah.
Could I also count by 4?
Yes.
Because commutative property tells me that I can use either of these factors first.
Because they end the problem.
I can use either of these factors to solve to find my total. Okay? Kiss your brain. I'll be collecting these. Thank you so much. Make sure you mark your additions on your prep note. Thank you. Stop it.